Hi everyone. This is an in-depth comparison between the Labubu version 1 to your left. They call it the Exciting Macaron series versus the Labubu version 2 Have a Seat series. I know Labubus are currently the hottest toy of this season, and a lot of you probably have questions about the differences between the various versions. Labubu Exciting Macaron is the first version that was released. It was followed by the Series 2 Have a Seat. And the first most obvious difference is one is in a standing position and the second is in a seated position. But I think in addition to that, when you do a comparison of the finer details, there are also some major differences that can go into your decision of which version to get. Off the bat, it's my understanding that the Exciting Macaron series is a little bit harder to obtain as it's a little bit older and the stock is less available. Have a Seat may be easier to obtain, but still in this season, both are rather difficult to obtain. So if you have an opportunity to choose one or the other, hopefully this video will help you make that decision. Taking an in-depth look at the Exciting Macaron version 1, you can see a little bit about a different texture in the Labubu fur compared to the Series 2 Have a Seat. You can see it's a little, for the version 2, it's a little bit more directional. It's all flowing in one direction and it's very soft. Version 1 is more akin to a Sherpa material. It's fuzzy, also very soft and high quality. In terms of the faces, Series 1, each Labubu has more or less the similar facial expression. For version 2, they come in a various different facial expressions. This is called Baba, and he has an open eye expression. Other Labubus in version 2, as you can see here, some have closed eyes, squinting eyes, and eyes that are looking away. Another major difference that I found is that the eye itself, when you look closely in the eyes, it's very high quality, but the various facial eye features are made from different materials. The eye white is on the outside, and for the iris, there seems to be a clear insert, and it is colored underneath to provide kind of a contrast of the various different parts of the eyes. I'll give you a closer look here. You can tell it's different materials and the iris is inlaid to create a more dynamic effect. Comparing that to version 2, when I zoom in on the eyes, it is still high quality. There seems to be some clear film material above the underneath painted layer. However, it's pretty consistent throughout. It's one material and there isn't an inlay. So it doesn't have as much of a dynamic effect compared to the version 1 where there is a difference in material that is used to create a contrast, if you can see that. Version 2 it doesn't have that kind of level of detail. Another difference is in the foot markings, the Pop Mart markings. On version 2, the Pop Mart logo is imprinted into the foot, while in version 1, it is printed on. One other big difference is the rings, harnesses that are used on the different Labubus. The version 1 uses a larger metal clip, and version 2 has a smaller clip that is more color matched to the Labubu. So this could be another point of difference that can help in your decision. They both feel very high quality, but version 1 feels slightly higher quality. It's just the metal feels a little bit better, while the version 2 feels a little bit cheaper. Well, they each have their drawbacks. The clip of the version 2 is rather solid. This clip on version 1 is a little lighter. Both arms on both versions are posable. They allow you to make some poses with the Labubus, and both heads are rotatable. In terms of the feeling you get when you hold a Labubu, it's hard to communicate over the internet. They're just so adorable when you actually get them in your hand and pose with them and start playing with them. Their personalities really come through when they're in your setting, when you have them in front of you. When they're online, they kind of seem like, every other static vinyl toy, but they're just so full of personality when you have them in front of you. And I think that's one of the big reasons why they're so sought after. One thing to note for both of these Labubus, it's actually quite hard to get them to self-balance on their own. So that's one thing to keep in mind. It's very difficult to actually have them stand or sit upright. They'll often fall back or fall forward. So that's something to keep in mind, if you have ideas of posing them. But that's it for this video. Hopefully it's helpful for you in making your decision on which Labubu to get. I know they're very difficult to obtain at this time, but if you're not sure which one you should be trying for, hopefully it gave you some better ideas on the details of the version 1 versus version 2. Thank you, everyone.